Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike. This is Off Grid Rescue. Today we're going to cover the infamous expansion battery hack for the F3800. I'm going to show you how to get the Anker Solex F3800 expansion battery cable and cut it and make yourself one of these. And I will also show you the battery that I'm using that I think makes probably the perfect battery for the F3800. All right, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is get yourself the cable. Now, this cable has been increasingly hard to find. It's been out of stock in most places, but I have brought several of them through off-grid stores online. I'll leave a link for it in the description. This is where you can find your cable. The beauty of this is when you cut your cable down the center, you can make you two of them. So if you have a buddy or you want to sell one or whatever, you have that option with it. Starting off, what we're going to do, we are going to cut this casing that goes around the cable. All right, so you're going to get inside of here with your sharp knife and cut that incredibly hard casing they have over this, man. It really protects. I give them credit on that. And Anker always got quality products, and that's just a testament to it. You be sure not to cut your cables in there. All right, so as you can see, we have it open now. You pull them apart a little bit. We'll trim a little off of that later. So now what you're going to want to look at on the inside here, you're going to notice you have 5 cables inside of here. If you separate them, you see you're going to have 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And your center one right here, this one, that is your communication cable. That we're not going to be using. We're going to be using 2 on this side and 2 on this side, and that's going to be your negative and your positive. Go ahead and cut your communication. We'll cut that one, get it out the way. We'll cut each of these as well. And I'll show you what the inside looks like here in just a second. All right, we'll set this one aside. So there we go. You see your wire strands inside here. That's one's to this side, and that's 2 on that side. And right there, you can see that's your communication cable. We're not going to use that one. So we'll just go ahead and cut it off a little shorter. And later on, what you can do is go ahead and cut that communication cable all the way back here somewhere, because you're never going to use it. I would advise to do is you can just put some heat shrink around it to keep anything from in there from shorting out. This is how you're going to find your positive and negative. All right, so what you're going to do is get yourself a multimeter, and right here on your expansion battery port on your F3800, go ahead and take that cable you cut, plug her in right there. All right, so these two are live now. Now remember that. You're going to put your meter on DC, so we'll go ahead, put our probe in there, and that probe in there. As you can see there, we have 53.37 volts. We are live. So the corresponding red cable, these two on this side, and you can test them both to make sure that you don't have them mixed up. So what we'll do, we'll take that red one off, and we'll go back to this side, and 53.37. So we know both of these on this side are your positive, and both of these on this side are your negative. You can mark them, tape them, label them. For those that don't know, when you have a multimeter, and if I go wrong with it, I'll put it purposely opposites there. All right, you see that negative symbol right there in your meter? That's going to tell you that you got them reversed. Swap them back around right there, no negative symbol. So we're correct. So that identifies positive side and negative side. Really simple. All right, so now that we know that, I'll go ahead and tape up together so we'll know the two that are taped together are my negative. And we'll just unplug from there. And now we have that cable ready to go. You can get these splice blocks right here from Home Depot, the aluminum splice blocks. This is mine that I made. My splice blocks are in here, and I use 2-gauge wire battery cable. And you are also gonna need, off Amazon, you can pick you up a terminal kit and a cheap hydraulic crimper so you can get your battery cable and make your crimp connections on the end of it. Now, I do advise adding a breaker into it. For test purposes, I just didn't add a breaker into this one. You can get a 2-pole DC breaker off Amazon as well, and I'll leave links in the description for all of this. So there's your cable, negative, positive, just like this. Cut these two back, your negative, put them inside your splice terminal, and there's your connection for your positive or your negative cable. Run your cable in there, put your DC breaker in it, 2-pole DC breaker on there, and right there, terminal in, and you're ready for a battery hookup. Here is the battery that I like to use, and I kind of recommend, is the Temgo 51.2 metal case battery for the F3800. Because if you look at the form factor of it, man, it fits perfectly right on top of this unit. Kind of like it's about the size of the original expansion battery that the F3800 you can buy from Anker. So, but instead, you're going to get 5,120 watt hours out of this one. So I believe it's 3,800 out of the high dollar expansion battery from Anker. When you get the Temgo battery, it's going to come with everything you're going to need, man. It comes with the external monitoring screen that plugs into the side of the battery. Also going to come with a charger, a really nice Temgo charger. And I'll show you that here in a second, how plugging up into this battery with this external charger will also charge the power station as well. We'll get into that part here in a second. Let's just deal with the thing at hand here. I do advise hooking this up before you plug into your power station because these will be live. So we're going to hook them up to our battery. All right, so now we got them hooked up. We are going to come over here, plug this into our expansion port. Got it plugged in. Now we will come over to the power station. Now that we have it hooked up, everything is climbing on our days. So our expansion battery is feeding into the F3800 and it is just going to keep climbing. Now I do advise having the power station at 100% and your expansion battery charged to 100% when you start. But just for testing and showing you guys everything, this one's at 90 and the expansion battery is at 100. All right, so right now we're showing just idling, it can go 57.6 days. And if you look here at our screen for the battery, you're gonna see we are putting 8.6 amps output, 53.96 volts. This battery is at 100%. All right, so a lot of the questions I get is, will they drain evenly? They will drain evenly as long as they start at 100% each battery, because what you're gonna be doing, it's gonna pull more of the load off of the bigger battery and then compensate with the smaller battery inside of here. So let me show you an example of it. The only big difference is you're not gonna get the readings on the screen of what it's pulling out of this battery. You can use either the app for the battery to show you the wattage that you're pulling out, or you can just use the simple screen that it comes with, and that'll show you how many amps you're pulling out and the percentage of the battery. What I have noticed when you deplete them both all the way down and you're charging back up, when this one reaches 100% first, this one will reach it last. It's kind of been my experience with it. So right now we're going to plug some solar into it. I don't have very much solar out there right now, but I'm just going to demonstrate and show you that we're going to bring solar, and I'm going to show you where this starts charging. All right, so you see I'm only bringing in 141 watts, 120. It's really cloudy out right now, but it's enough to give you an example. And as you can see right here on our screen, it shows us charging. Stand by. I don't have quite enough in there to kick it off. It's just going to bounce back and forth right now. So 142. Well, and part of the problem is this battery is at 100%. But solar charging will charge this and this battery at the same time. And there again, for charging, we are going to plug in the charger that we got that came with the Temgo battery. So we're going to plug it in right here, and you show us charging. The time for recharge is dropping down 2.4 hours. And we're also putting solar in as well. So it should go down to like a half an hour, about where I think it's going to rest at. That it will have this brought to 100%. So just to recap, we are charging from the charger that came with the Temgo, charging the Temgo battery that is plugged into the Anker F3800, and the F3800 itself is charging off of the Temgo charger and bringing solar in at the same time. So as you can see now, we have both the F3800's at 100%, our Temgo battery is at 100%. So to show that they both equally discharge, we're going to put a heavy load on it. We're going to plug into our 30 amp plug right here and going to pull about 3,500 watts out of the F3800. All right, there with both of them at 100%, you can see we're at 84 days now. All right, so now we got that plugged in. We are pulling 2,600 watts, and we're going to come over here to the Temgo battery. We're pulling 36 amps, 30, 39, almost 40 amps out of the Temgo battery, 43 amps, so almost 50 amps. So the majority of the load is coming out of the Temgo battery. All right, our Temgo battery has dropped down to 99% discharge. Our Anker is still at 100. Like I said, you are going to be pulling more out of the Temgo than you will the Anker. And as you can see there, it's showing 2.3 hours pulling almost 2,800 watts. And can you solar charge while doing this? Yes, you can. So we are going to plug our solar plug in. And let's see what input we get here. There, for it to accept solar charge, I had to unplug the expansion battery and let the anchor get down below 99% for it to start taking solar. Because with the anchor unit reading 100%, it stops taking solar. So right now we are feeding 1,038 watts of solar in, showing our remaining time, 1.8 hours. So right now we are going to plug the expansion battery back in, and you'll see our remaining time start climbing again. 3 hours running 2,700 watts. And there we show discharging, 23 amps. Some cloud cover moved in, so we dropped down to 590 watts now. You can pretty much run everything, your solar, expansion battery, output, on the Anker F3800 with the Temgo expansion battery, using your Temgo golf cart battery as an expansion battery. So to give you a final look of what it looks like with the battery on there, I like the form factor, I like the way it fits, and sorry for the black lines there. I'm having issues with these LED lights here. And there's the business side of it. Really simple to do. And as you can see here, the Anker is at 97% and our expansion battery is at 97%. So they will draw relatively easily together. And there you go, 3.6 days sitting idle, hooked up to the expansion battery. All right, guys, so there you have it. There is the expansion hack for the Anker F3800. I'll do one soon on the Blue Eddy products and show you what I've come up with on that. Mind you, I'm not an electrician. This is entertainment purposes only. So do this at your own risk. I'm not responsible for anything. So if you like what we're doing here, Off-Grid Rescue, give us a like and subscribe. We appreciate you stopping by and watching our videos, man. We'll see you guys on the next one.